I generate an agenda for every weekly teaching team meeting to try and make sure that they're of value. As I mentioned, I really think that the teaching team meetings are integral part of the course, and we need to keep those mandatory for all people to attend. But on my part of it, I want to make them useful as well. You know, it takes a lot of resources to have that many people in the same room for an hour, and so I want us to move forward and be productive about it. So my way of doing that is I have agendas for the meetings. We start off by giving some information. We have the instructors talk a little bit about what was happening in lecture this week, what's going to be happening next week, mainly because the majority of people in that room are not in the lectures, the vast majority. So it's good for that, but they're going to be interacting with the students. So I want the students to have a feeling that their TA knows. We talked about project management, you know, closure of a project this week or something like that, just on a high level. We don't obviously go over the lectures in detail, but just the high level topics. The next thing is we talk about the tutorials. So we focus a lot of effort on, so what's going to be happening in this week's tutorial. This is status report number 5 or whatever it happens to be. Maybe there's peer evaluations happening in the tutorial. The students are going to need to be working on their CDS, one of their documents, because it's due next week, things like that. The next stage is really administrative side of things. We talk about, you know, any additional meetings, you know, if there's benchmarking sessions scheduled. Our curriculum assistant, Fong, talks about, you know, when they can pick up their assignments for grading, how they can go about reporting their grades, and things that we do communicate in hard copy and paper copy to all the teaching team members, but we make an effort to talk about it in the meeting as well, as a way of emphasizing that and making sure nobody misses that information. And then the final stage of the teaching team meetings is we, in the second term, where we have project managers, we do breakout sessions. So at the last maybe 15 minutes of the meeting, the communications instructors meet with their TAs who they're associated with, and they go off onto the little separate rooms and they talk about things that are specific to their role. I then take the project managers, and I have all the project managers in a separate area, and we talk about things that are only applicable to the project managers. That's something new we implemented this year, and it's been very successful because previously we just kept everyone together, and occasionally there's items that come up that are not applicable for the other group, and so they just have to sit there and wait while this discussion happened. And so we find this is much more efficient, but I don't want to separate it out totally, because I want to maintain that consistency and having everyone in the same room. But you know, a short 10-15 minute breakout session has been effective so far anyway.